Superman, the symbol of justice and hope, has become one of the most iconic superheroes in the history of pop culture. Since his debut in comics in 1938, Superman has quickly captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world. Not just confined to the pages of comics, Superman has stepped onto the screen, from the earliest black and white films to modern blockbusters with stunning visual effects. Throughout each era, the image of Superman has been reimagined with different perspectives, reflecting the changing times and the tastes of audiences. Let's take a look at Superman's journey on screen over the years, from the early days to contemporary versions, to see the development and deep impact this character has had on global cinema. Superman 1948. In 1948, we witnessed the first Superman film on screen. To this day, no one can resist the appeal of this film whenever it is re-released. But did you know that Kirk-Alyn was only credited as Clark Kent and not as Superman? The reason was that the studio wanted to keep the identity of the actor playing Superman a secret, even spreading rumors that Superman was portraying himself in this series. This 1948 film is considered the most successful of the Superman serials, and it marked the first time the character of Superman appeared in an action film. Atom Man vs. Superman 1950.
Superman.
Atom Man vs. Superman 1950. In 1950, the film Atom Man vs. Superman was released and quickly became the highest-grossing serial in U.S. cinema history. Interestingly, the face of Lyle Talbot, who played Lex Luthor in this series, was used in the comics as the model for the character of Luthor until the 1960s, when a leaner version of Luthor was introduced. This film truly was a masterpiece of its time. Superman and the Mole Men 1951. The 1951 film Superman and the Mole Men is perhaps a lesser-known work. Over a year after its release, this film was split into two parts and used as the final episodes of the first season of the television series Adventures of Superman in 1952. However, the TV version removed the original score by Daryl Kalker and replaced it with music from previous episodes of the series. All references to the alien creatures known as Mole Men were cut from the television version, making this film only 58 minutes long, becoming the shortest Superman film.
Episode.
Who are you?
Lois Lane.
Superman 1978. The 1978 film Superman was an emotional experience for both the audience and the producers. Did you know that Clark Kent's and Superman's hair were combed in opposite directions? Director Richard Donner was very disappointed when production designer John Barry and cinematographer Jeffrey Unsworth were not recognized by the Academy for their work on this film. He was especially upset when one of the nominations for Best Art Direction went to the film California Suite, 1978, which simply recreated an existing hotel, while Barry had created an entire fictional city and a fortress in the Arctic. Despite this, the film did not achieve great commercial success. Superman 2 1980. The 1980 film Superman 2 was truly a big hit and is considered the best film in the Superman series. On August 1st, 1981, a television commercial for this film became the first ad to air on MTV. However, actor Gene Hackman did not return to reshoot scenes for the second film. All his scenes were shot in advance by director Richard Donner. For other scenes directed by the new director that required Hackman, a body double and a voice impersonator were used to add any necessary dialogue. Nevertheless, this did not affect the film's success.
Again!
No, I'm sorry.
Superman III 1983. In 1983, the film Superman 3 faced many difficulties. After Margot Kidder expressed her displeasure about Richard Donner's firing to producers Alexander Salkind and Ilya Salkind, her role was reduced to just 12 lines and less than 5 minutes of screen time. Christopher Reeve also threatened not to return for this film to protest Donner's firing and because he hated the script. Even though production was already underway, the producers scrambled to find a replacement for Superman. John Travolta was offered the role but declined, as did Jeff Bridges and Kurt Russell. New director Richard Lester pleaded with Reeve to return, and eventually Reeve agreed on the condition that he could make changes to the script. Superman the 4th, The Quest for Peace, 1987. After Superman 3, the Superman series began to decline with the 1987 film Superman the 4th, The Quest for Peace. Christopher Reeve openly regretted participating in this film, even calling it a disaster from start to finish. The failure of this film dealt a severe blow to Reeve's career. Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane, also shared that she and Reeve did not get along during filming, partly because Reeve felt pressured while co-writing the script. The failure of this film led Cannon Group Inc. to cancel their planned Spider-Man movie. Superman Returns 2006. Although not meeting box office expectations, Superman Returns 2006 still outgrossed Batman Begins and became the second highest grossing DC Comics film at the time, after Batman, 1989. Did you know that the production team built 7 kilometers of roads and planted 15 hectares of corn to recreate the Kent family farm? This was particularly challenging as the farm was built during a 7-year drought in Australia. Notably, actors Brandon Routh, Kate Bosworth, and Kevin Spacey all signed contracts without reading the script. Man of Steel 2013. In 2013, the film Man of Steel was released to celebrate Superman's 75th anniversary. Henry Cavill, who played Superman, captivated not only male fans, but also female fans with his acting talent and impressive physique. Cavill refused to use steroids to bulk up for the role, and also rejected any digital alterations to his body in the shirtless scenes.
Don't play games with me, General.
Push his body to the limit to develop a physique worthy of the character. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 2016. In 2016, the film Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice marked the highly anticipated showdown between the world's two biggest superhero icons. Ben Affleck joined Henry Cavill in the journey to save the world. However, Affleck realized he was taking a risk by joining this film, as Warner Bros. Warned of potential backlash from fans over his casting as Batman. To ease his concerns, the studio showed Affleck negative comments that fans had made about previous superhero casting choices. Despite this, it did not prevent Affleck from fully committing to the role. Justice League 2017.
I'm also a big fan of Justice.
The 2017 film Justice League, with a runtime of 119 minutes, met Warner Bros.' requirement to keep the film under 2 hours, not including the credits. However, the 2021 release of Zack Snyder's Justice League had a massive runtime of 242 minutes. Notably, Gal Gadot had to wear at least 14 different Wonder Woman costumes in the film, each designed to fit the requirements of specific scenes. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2021. The 2021 film Zack Snyder's Justice League is a remarkable work with over 2,000 new visual effects in its 4-hour runtime, despite only about 5 minutes of new footage being shot with the actors. Zack Snyder shared that this version contains no scene shot by Joss Whedon from the 2017 version. And although Snyder was credited as the director of that cut, he never watched it. Snyder's wife, Deborah Snyder, and his close friend, producer Christopher Nolan, advised him not to watch that cut as it could break his heart. And that's the entire development of Superman over the ages. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end of the video. And don't forget to suggest topics you'd like to see on Better so we can better serve you.